Now going over to the culture part of the podcast, you have Bud Light March Hoops Cooler is not very cool. Now this comes thanks to Bud Light's X Twitter profile, and they say, quote, when you realize March Hoops is officially 3 weeks away, unquote. Which perhaps they had to change it because March Madness is pejorative or offensive to people who are insane, which would piss off a lot of politicians. Dun-dun-ch. Now it has a Bud Light cardboard box of beer, and it's being dumped into a Bud Light blue looking cooler. And you see UK Bud Light bottles, the aluminum bottles with the little school font logo plastered on it or painted on it. So you'll get the college alumni who love the school. That'd be the true test of loyalty. If you are really so much of a fan of your college that you purchase a Bud Light product with it. That's perhaps one of the true tests of building a brand. Are you willing to buy? Do you love your brand so much you're willing to buy it even if it's on a Bud Light bottle? I'd be fascinated to see the statistics on that in terms of the take rate and how many people would actually do it. And truth be told, not the best marketing because you can't see like a logo on the cooler. And they're not even telling you could win this cooler, which again, when you see all these posts on social media, the very few times where you have some positive comments, usually when they're giving away free money or free coolers or free tickets to a sports balls game. And granted, many of those are robots or people who are mentally vacuous like robots and just repost for free sweepstakes. So it's just, I suspect, just some automated account. They're not really posting original content. Now, again, it actually got a couple more views than usual. So it got 14.8 thousand views in the first 48 hours. So this post has aged a little bit since it was originally posted. Pun moderately intended at time to brew. But it only got 172 likes, which includes the people who like UK. I don't think they're talking about the government or United Kingdom. I assume some type of school. Perhaps the University of Kentucky or Kansas or funny third option. Now, going to the comments, one of the first ones actually says, Andrew, he says, I need that cooler, unquote. And, you won't believe this, folks, it got a like. And Bud Light actually responded and said, quote, coming soon to a watch party near you, unquote. They got 2 likes, which I was actually pretty impressed. Bud Light actually responded to someone, and they liked their actual response, which is even rare, because usually they half-ass it, not tagging people properly, not responding to the few comments that are positive. Now, let's go to Andrew's profile to see if he's simply just a robot or some... Let's see. So we go to his profile. He's got 799 followers. He's from Minnesota. Joined in 2009, so not a new account that was created yesterday. He wants to win an Oscar Mayer Wiener helmet. He wants to win a racing hat. He wants to win alcohol, gift cards to Cheddar's, which they're no longer based in Texas. Rest in peace, Cheddar's. They're now owned by a parent company. I believe Darden bought them out in 2016, give or take. And let's see. He wants Target gift cards, which red flag. Men don't want Target gift cards. Wants to win more sports balls hats, Doritos. So this person just wants free stuff, not really free anything. Free Budweiser. He reposted that for Budweiser. So just repost people. And it's not a verified account. Now, the second comment comes from Reese Wisden, and she says, quote, when you realize that Bud Light hasn't apologized yet, unquote, they got 14 likes, which is quite a few to say the least. Now, scrolling down, you also have Rob S., who says, quote, you guys fired your CEO yet? Question mark. They got 1 like, which, no, I mean, the CEO, his job is pretty darn secure by this point. I mean, former CIA operative Brendan Whitworth, he's been the CEO for quite some time. And if they didn't fire him, like, right off the bat for losing 30% of their sales, after 2 or 3 weeks, my gut kind of told me the guy's invincible. They're not going to get rid of him. And there's a lot of people speculating. I mean, he appears to be human, or at least not a robot. And a lot of people say he's a good old country boy. He doesn't believe in, selling alcohol to children, like Alyssa Heiderchild did when they hired a brand ambassador whose age demographic was 15 years old, and subsequently paid this individual $185,000 to celebrate 365 days of womanhood, giving Dylan Mulvaney a custom can with Dylan's face on it, which... That can, I almost feel like Indiana Jones or Harrison Ford, because it does belong in a museum as perhaps the biggest business blunder in history, especially in regards to marketing, because again, the Bud Light individual brand lost 30% of their sales, while the other brands, Budweiser is around 12% down, Michelob Ultra about 5% down. And again, they still have 40 plus beer brands in the Anheuser-Busch InBev portfolio, so they're not going out of business anytime soon. But in terms of loss of sales to a single brand, it has to be a record. Now, other comments comes from 18abro saying, quote, I've not had a Bud Light product since it's turned into trans fluid, and it would take something major to change that. Advertising is not it, unquote, getting 5 likes. Kevin Dosey says, quote, when you realize Shane Gillis, Post Malone, and the UFC is now gay, LOL, getting 4 likes. Which, spoiler, Post Malone has nothing to do with the U.S. Postal Service. Though the fact that it's not a commercial already is a lost opportunity. Angry Allen simply says no, getting 5 likes. The Tater Man says, quote, oh, I heard Kentucky beer tastes bad. Unquote, getting 4 likes. CM says Bud Light is for the LGBTQ+++++. Unquote, getting 6 likes, which, I mean, that's not news. They've sponsored parades for 30 years now. So to me, I don't think that's the main point of controversy. It was the advertising towards children, as well as in the past, I want to say 2 to 3 years, many of those parades have been mostly naked with children present. So that's another different point of controversy that we have not seen decades prior. Michael simply says, go woke, go broke, getting 3 likes. Court Swagalula says, quote, yes, or yeah, and we all remember what happened last March. No one wants your tranny germs. Like, we're getting 11 likes. Though for the record, April 1st is the date where they debuted that Dylan Mulvaney partnership, which in hindsight is also hilarious that they chose April 1st, because some people actually thought it was a joke because it's such an outlier to their normal business practices and their traditional marketing that they had done for decades prior and had worked for decades prior. Robbo Brandon says, quote, not drinking that queer beer. Unquote, getting 3 likes. Scroll down, see what else we got here. Julia Broderick says, quote, you're still being boycotted. Stop pretending we've forgotten, no matter what Trump or Kid Rock has said previously. Unquote, getting 5 likes. CM says, quote, this is the demographic you need to spend your money targeting and advertising to. It is a can of Bud Light that has the rainbow and pronouns on it. And this text says celebrate everyone's identity. And then they have they, them, she, her, him, he, see her, SIEHR. That's can's partially turned, so I can't make that out. They have he, they, and she, they, all on the can. And they got 4 likes. Scrolling down, Connor Johnson also has a gif of a man throwing something in the trash, and the text is right in the trash, getting 5 likes. Kelly Twine Flame says, quote, why are you gay? Getting 5 likes. Scrolling down. This media contains potentially sensitive content. Of course, let's click the bonus button. Xavier says, rest in power, Bud Light. You're extra unpopular now. And it goes to a graph where they show Bud Light sales are down 30%. And the brands that are not owned by Anheuser-Busch InBev are actually up, 5 to 10%. That got 1 like. People saying screw you, piss, water, beer, getting 0 to 1 likes. If we scroll to the very top, we have the super secret hidden button. So if you click that, what will we find there? So I don't know if you can delete them once they're hidden, but it says nothing to see here. Which makes me wonder, it says, but protected posts may be filtered out. So interestingly enough, usually the button is not there unless they hide something. Then I click that button now, where again, you're showing the ones that are supposedly hidden by Bud Light, and there's nothing there. So I wonder if they actually maybe deleted them? But yeah, good old Bud Light. I don't think their popularity is going to turn around anytime soon. They're signing on some of the best well-known brand ambassadors on the planet, signing back up with the UFC for a sponsorship. But yeah, the top comments in all these polls, or not all these polls, in all these social media posts is still they want an apology. Now, granted, I don't think we'll ever get that because of the subsequent controversy where you'd have people on the far left reigniting their boycott of the brand. Because in their view, Bud Light did not quote-unquote stick with Dylan Mulvaney, so that was a controversy in and of itself. So if the CEO was to do that, they'd probably get a lot more protesters. Now, I don't know how many people in that demographic actually purchased Bud Light. I would probably say it's probably a minority of your sales, which is why we've seen such a big sales drop in general. But needless to say that Bud Light March Hoops tweet, that is certainly on par with their usual social performance on social media. But of course, when it comes to this, A sports ball metaphor may be one said that they tried to take the free throw, but they threw the ball and it hit the crowd in the face. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.